Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beet Goes On podcast. On this episode, it's just me, and I've done a ton of interviews with women I love and who inspire me and who I think the world of and who have mentored me, or obviously I just said inspired me, but in some way have affected me in my life, whether in business or personally. And I know that in a lot of the episodes I touched on little tidbits of me and my business, but I actually have never really told the origin of Beettan and me. And, we've done a lot of interviews from women here in Savannah and businesses here in Savannah. We had some men too, but mostly women. We're girls around here. But I wanted to talk about Michelle. And I'll just start by saying I am from Savannah and born and raised. My mom moved a lot locally. People always are like, wow, I'll never meet anyone for a native of Savannah. Well, I am. But my mother did move a lot locally. She was a nurse after my dad passed. She's actually inspiring herself. We'll have her on here one day. My dad died while my mother was pregnant with my sister. So my dad died at an early age, 25. I think he was 25. And he died February 18th. And my sister was born February 12th. So my mom was very pregnant with my sister when she lost my dad tragically in a car accident. He was killed by a drunk driver who was also on drugs at 5 o'clock in the morning in a semi. So very tragic loss. And then she had a baby. And then she quickly had to figure out life with two girls. And she went to she taught aerobics and put herself through nursing school. She got a 4-year degree in 2 years and usually worked 2 jobs, whether it was nursing or teaching aerobics. And she was drop dead gorgeous too. Still is, but she looked like Farrah Fawcett. So I think that's where I get my work ethic is from my mother. I know that she always worked very hard, worked multiple jobs. So fast forward, I just wanted to throw that out there. I am from here, but she moved a lot locally because she was always picking the better school system for us, or she was married a couple of times after that. So I think was failed relationships or what the case may be. My mom moved. We've lived in every county around this sucker. So I've lived in and around Savannah my entire life within 20 minutes. So I love it. And the beauty of that, if we're going to the positive, is I know a lot of people in and around Savannah, and I make friends really easy because, I had to start over a lot, but just locally. So you'd always see someone kind of new or someone, related to someone. So I've been a marketer and a socializing, PR queen from a little girl because I had to move new places and make new friends and figure it out. So here we are. I am now the owner of Beettan, and it all started, I guess, my spark in sunless tanning world. I hate the word sunless, but it is what it is. Self-tanner doesn't sound much better, but at-home tanning products or spray tan, the origin of that was my sister was in high school. She's a redhead, and she had many places cut off of her. She was having mole after mole, some precancerous, some, there's so many different forms. It was happening regularly where she was seeing Dr. Finger. That's the name of the plastic surgeon at the time, which is a funny name for a plastic surgeon, Dr. Finger. She was seeing him at the time, and she would have to start going more regularly to go get checked. And it was eye-opening to me as the bigger sister, who we were tanning regularly outside. We grew up in the South, not too far from the beach, and my sister could no longer partake. And so I did not either, and neither did my mom. Later on, my mom ended up with some skin cancer scares on her and my grandfather. So early age, I figured I had to find something else out. Now, guys, this is 20 years ago. So I think all we had back then was L'Oreal Sublime or I don't even know. It was gross, whatever we had back then. And it did not smell good and it did not look good. And so I made it my mission to find something. And through the yellow pages, I found this woman who was doing spray tans in Savannah, and I figured I'd be the guinea pig. Now, the spray tan took about 45 minutes, and it was done with like the small airbrush machine, like that you make, like you can do makeup and tattoos, airbrush tattoos, like you would see the same machine at a carnival when you can get fake tattoos on. I don't know. That's the only thing I've had those before, so that's the only thing I could reference. And so that's how, and I was also the woman who owned the business's guinea pig. So I would come to her regularly. And I was a social queen, so I would wear those fake tan proudly, as dark and unnatural as it looked. And I would tell people, I got this spray tan from so-and-so. And I started referring her so many people. She would give me a discount for me and my sister. And then later, fast forward, I learned how to spray tan. She upgraded to a better machine somewhere down the line. I bought into her very first franchise and opened up my first spray tan studio. I mean, I'm talking about way back in 2006. And I borrowed the money from my grandpa and started my spray tan business. And my first salon burned down to the ground. I lost everything, and my papa helped me start up again. Obviously, I didn't have to pay the franchise fee or anything, but I bought all new equipment, all new everything. I was in the back of a hair salon, so I quickly found, actually, my papa, the same day the business burned down, no joke, I haven't even talked about this in so long, he found a vitamin shop in Pooler that would let me spray it out of their bathroom until I could find a new place to open up. So the day everything burned down, he went and purchased another machine from the woman who I purchased the franchise from. And he had me all set up by that afternoon. So my papa's the best in the world. Then we found a salon, and I sprayed there for years. And then I was 20, super early 20s with the spray tan business. And it just wasn't, there was a lot of stress. I was going through a divorce at a young age. Not Gavin's dad. Gavin's dad left me when I was pregnant. So can you imagine being in your early 20s, having your first business, not getting along with the franchise owner, going through a divorce it was a whirlwind to have a baby. And I don't even think I mentioned I had a baby at 18 in between all of this. So just all of the stuff going on. I was emotionally immature at the time, single mother, just trying to figure life out. I pulled out of the franchise and just decided to take a breather, and I bartended. So on the last episode, I spoke with Sharon about both of us starting in the service industry. But truth be told, I tried to have a business at an early age and failed miserably. Like, it tanked. I mean, I argued with the woman. I had one burned down. Then after getting it back up, then lost it again. And I just felt like it wasn't for me. I felt like I wasn't good enough, to be quite honest with you. I failed so bad that it just, I had a lot of shame with everything. Like with everything in life, I had a child young. I married someone too quickly, then was divorced, then had a business burn down, then a business fail. And I just was miserable and depressed. So I started working in the service industry. And I think the service industry saved me, where later on in life I had to get the hell out of it. But the people that I met were very accepting because I had a child young. I didn't go to college. I didn't experience any of that while my other friends, childhood friends, were in college and, doing the sorority thing and having fun. I would try to hang out with them, and I didn't have anything in common because I had a baby. So when I got my first job in the service industry, I resonated with so many of the hardworking people there. And it was a way for me to socialize and make money. So when there was less guilt with leaving Gavin with a sitter or his dad and going to work, because I was actually socializing and working. I could do both at the same time. So for me, it was like the dream job. And I did it for 10 years. And I worked at an Irish pub on River Street, which was very popular. It was called Kevin Barry's. Sadly, it's closed down now, but it was there for like 30 something years. It's crazy. Made very good money. I liked it because I would work less and see Gavin more. But if I'm being honest, because of the white picket fence family I was surrounded by, nothing against that. I love my family. it just wasn't the job that, your grandfather pastor wanted for you. So there was a lot of shame, even though I was making good money, seeing my child more, there was shame that was not unfair to a young woman. There's so much shame with it. So I always had, and I still had in the back of my mind that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I kept bartending because I was like, fuck it. Like, I don't care what people think. This makes good money and I can spend more time with my child. And it was an Irish pub, for gosh sakes. Like, it wasn't like I was doing, no one does anything wrong. Like, it's a job you go to, you bring money home. Well, then I started working at this other bar called Social Club sometime later. And it was a fast-paced bar. My shift started at 10 p.m., which was wonderful because I could actually put Gavin to bed. Shifts at Kevin Berry started at 7. And so this was 3 more hours with my child and actually could be there to tuck him into bed. And I loved it. It was fast-paced. There were younger people there. There were locals. It was just wonderful. And as I worked harder and built up my clientele there, my shifts got I was able to cut down my shifts. So then I was only working 2 to 3 nights a week. So then I had all that time with my kid. And then somehow, I think it was back in 2013, whatever year it was. I was like, I'm going to get a spray tan machine and I'm going to start spray tanning again. I've made all of these connections. I think I could start spray tanning people I'm meeting through the service industry. So I ordered a new machine, and actually this time it was way more fun for me because I was able to do it my way and not the franchise way. So I was able to order things, and that was one of the things, if I were to go back up, that when I started my original spray tan business, that she and I would get in arguments about, where I wanted to venture out and try new things, and she was very much about the price of things and what you were making. And I was mostly about the product. So we butt heads on that. She wasn't doing anything wrong. Neither was I. We just had a different way of looking at business. Now that I've matured and have had a business for a while, she was doing what was right for her. And I was trying to do what was right for me, but I was very held back by these franchise rules. So, there are a lot of very successful franchises out there, but with a product like this, it's not the best way to go. In my opinion, it's not the best way to go. So I started spray tanning again, and it quickly picked up. And because I'm so social, I've worked at a place called Social. I am social. All this sounds very silly, but it's true. I worked at the Social Club. I'm a very social person. And I say this a million times. I'm a girl's girl. I talk to women way smoother. I just click with them. I resonate with them, and I love them. And I want to support them. And I've been very much supported. So the girls that I worked with at Social, still my friends to this day, were my very first supporters. And then it rippled off to a person that sat at my bar regularly that was a local bar owner or business owner, whatever the case may be. Then it rippled. I remember Trina that owned the Rail. She booked her first spray tan when she found out about it. And then I booked her friend. Then I sprayed her entire friend's wedding and on Tybee, and they all tagged me. So it just was a ripple effect. And I just decided I was going full-fledged into it. And then later on, I just decided I was so excited to have a business that was all my own without the franchising. And I started to dabble and tried tons of product. I was just working my butt off. And I became really good friends through ordering. As a business grew, there was one company I ordered from regularly. And then later on, a friend of the family came in town, and she was a beauty chemist, and we started having drinks together. And she helped me understand the science behind all of these products I was ordering. Literally, guys, I'm talking about a lot of things at once, so I hope I'm not confusing you. But she was just hanging out with me. It was organic conversation, and she had the knowledge. So it wasn't like I went and hired a beauty chemist. It was I had access to a beauty chemist, and we were having fun and having drinks. Met her through family, and she lived in Jacksonville. So she wasn't so accessible. So when she would come in town, I would make sure we usually would go to the Rail, honestly, which was by my house. But we would just sit there and chat it up. And the second I really started to understand the science, I was like, man, the way I'm ordering this product just is all wrong. And I was like, I wish I could take this ingredient out of it, particularly the staining cosmetic bronzers. I wanted to remove those from the product because they stained on my sheets. I was tired. I couldn't wear white anymore. They were making a mess. And it didn't look like, if you didn't match it up perfectly, then you'd have that one client who would be orangey. So that's how Beettan was born. She had a connection through the company that I was already ordering products from, and they had started, I don't know how long before, but not long before, making their own beauty products. So they were making makeups and lotions and all kinds of beauty products for other brands as well. Oh, sorry, Princess is talking to my dog. So Kathy set it up, and she knew the right things to say to help me negotiate, and I developed my very first product. Now, back then I was called Glow on the Go, and I didn't change the name because I was terrified. You know, anytime there's change in a business, it's kind of freaks you out when you work so hard. And, you know, I had a pretty decent clientele. I think I'd cut back to like 2 days a week at Social Club. I also had gotten my real estate license, which was giving me some flexibility and freedom there, which is also, let me back up and say that I got my real estate license in my very first real estate deal. I paid for the formulation of the first product. I used that check because I went to the bank without this great idea, and they were like, you crazy. You have no collateral. You do not own a house. You cannot do this. And I was like, if you know me, nobody tells me no. And if you do, I will find someone else that'll do it. I do not get backed down at all. And I've always been that way. Sometimes it's not the best way to be, but I can tell you, you will never get me down. You tell me no, I will find another way. And I will find another route. I will find another person. I will move on, move forward, and you're not holding me back. So the bank said no, and I literally got my real estate license after seeing my friend Casey, who worked with me at Social Club, make a fat check, told me what her check was, and I was like, that's how I'm going to do it. And I did. I did fail the test quite a few times first because I was juggling being a single mom, bartending at night, and running a business. So, that was if all the things in my life I'm proud of that I was doing real estate, building a clientele with real estate, building clientele with Beettan, and working. And the shifts at Social, now granted they started at 10 p.m., but I didn't get out of there till 5 or 6 a.m. I would sleep a couple hours, start my day the next day, and I was studying. So I was really hard on myself when I failed that real estate exam. And now looking back, I'm like, dude, you weren't even sleeping. How could you retain any information? And now it's impressive that I even did that. But at the time, you know, it's hard to see things when you're in it. And then when you're out of it and you look back, you're like, wow, I can't believe I did that. So here we are. Beettan's 9 years old. That was 9 years ago. And it feels like yesterday. And it's come such a long way. I mean, it's come such a long way. So it just went from the first product to, it was just a spray tan solution, just one spray tan solution. So what I wanted to do, guys, was I wanted to simplify it. I was spraying all these people. I discovered how to open and close a spray tan tent. This is a very hard task. If anyone has done a spray tan tent, now that I train women how to spray tan, that's the first call I get. I cannot get this damn tent down. So once I discovered they made spray tan tents and I could pop up in people's houses, it was really genius of me because I could pop up in other people's businesses, offer a service, and make money without having to have a brick and mortar. So I would pop up and do that. And I had the perfect product because you didn't have to have 10 colors. Because of the beauty chemist that helped me in developing my own product, I had a product that would just react off of other people's skin tone, and I could have one thing and it wouldn't be pouring all this stuff in and out that could potentially stain people's homes, their carpet. I mean, I'm telling you, because I went through it. I went through the hassle of the bronzers and the mixed colors and the additives, and I just was like, please just simplify it. All the cool things that are in these products, I made one that's universal and easy. And I did it for myself. I would never had the intention of selling the solution. So fast forward to later on, I've developed a lotion to go with it. Now, the lotion, I messed up and it was a little too dark. It was supposed to extend the life of a spray tan. So I wanted to have one spray tan and one like extender. Well, it was made with too much of a higher percentage. So then, I mean, again, you don't back me down. I started selling it as a self tanner and as an extender. You just mix it with your lotion so you could tone down. So I like made my own rules up as I went. But what is so beautiful, and I say this all the time, and this is so wonderful about Savannah and my clientele and my customers and the women in my life, they did what everyone was my biggest fan, and they were also my guinea pigs. When I would try something new, they would tell me their honest opinion, and I would listen, and I would make the next thing better or reformulate or whatever the case may be. I'd do another real estate deal and reformulate. So that's how we have Beettan. I had 2 products, and then my very first person, Rachel, love you, Rachel. She's actually back in Savannah now. My dear friend, she moved to LA and she's like, I want to do this in LA. So she was my guinea pig. So I was like, here's how much a machine costs. Here's how much I'm going to charge you for training. And you can order the solution through me. So I was making really small batches of the solution back then, and my price point was pretty high for myself, but that's how I had to make it. It was made in fresh batches. And Rachel went to LA, so I had Beettan Savannah. Oh, and Beettan somehow formed. I finally changed the name from Glow on the Go to Beettan. Thank you, Emily Bargeron and Mary Liz, for helping me come up with the name and the logo. So after I had my own product, I thought it was important that the product name matched the business name. So the product was always called Beettan, but I was still Glow on the Go. So at some point, I honestly don't, it all just, again, I was working 3 jobs. It all just morphed into Beettan. And there was Beettan Savannah and there was Beettan LA. And I thought I was rich. I was not, but I was rich with joy and satisfaction and pleasure and pride, and it changed my life. The business changed my life in so many ways. My son changed my life for the better. He was the first thing, and Beettan was the next thing. And it really gave me a very strong sense of pride. Now, it was not making me a ton of money. It was filling my soul. It was something that was mine, and I was very proud. The first business card I made, I mean, you would have thought you would have handed me hundreds of dollars. I was so proud that it was my product, I was so freaking proud. And so then it started to get on a roll, and I went from Beettan LA to Beettan in Statesboro. Actually, Suzanne in Statesboro is the Bronzed Beach. What was really cool is because I had been forced into the franchise thing at a young age, I knew this business. Oh my gosh, she's going to bark at the UPS guy. Princess hates the UPS guy.
Let me go make sure the door is closed.
It is, but
I think we're good.
yeah, I think all of us downstairs.
Yeah, everything's downstairs. Everything's downstairs. Oh,
I get it.
hold on 1 second.
We can put Princess on the podcast. She's talking.
Sorry.
Yeah, Princess, I agree totally. And what do you think about that? Mm-hmm. Me too.
We're doing a podcast recording.
That's okay. I'm pretending I'm interviewing Princess. Yep. I completely agree. It's Princess, what do you think about the UPS guy?
Also, once he's done.
I mean, I just did a full-on interview with Princess talking in the microphone.
I know, I heard it all her I think the only thing I'm missing is just explaining how like the beet sugar is that.
Yeah, I do want. I didn't say COVID. About COVID.
Okay, cool.
But we can make a
I
whole.
like where you're going, or it's.
We can make a whole thing with Princess barking.
Yes, and
Proper.
and then I also think
We're good.
If we have time, just talk about how you met members of the Beettan team and all of that too. But we're not there.
Well,
yet.
I'm gonna do the partners that started to sign up, and then why I had to start I was still doing it all
by yourself.
Yeah, I had to do it. I did it all by myself forever.
Princess. Especially too, like, I didn't know that. Alright, that's all. Alright, thanks, bye. Alright, safe, Princess. He's gone. Okay, I'm just gonna re-slate so I know where we started. Okay. We're still.
Okay, lay down. Be good.
But yeah,
that's gonna be really funny if you could split it up where it looks like. And Princess, what do you think?
She's
like barking. I should do fake. I should do like you could just get her barking, and I'll be like, and what do you think about Trump?
Yeah,
I mean, not Trump, but I would never do that.
I'll have her bark. And
what do you think about other spray tan brands, Princess?
Exactly. I'll have a subtitle. It's like, and a word from our sponsor. Okay, awesome. Okay. Well,
I know where I left off. It was after Suzanne.
Yeah, or how you were kind of like, I didn't want to be
get the franchise.
Yeah. Franchise,
right.
So.
Shh. You be quiet. Okay, let's try to make it through this interview with Princess.
Yes.
So once I started to sign up new spray tan partners, I didn't want to force them to use the Beettan name. Also, if I'm being honest, because I was so new into it, I didn't have the ability to pay for an attorney to turn it into a franchise. These are like attorney fees and thousands of dollars. So I had a simple little contract that said you can't post about Beettan or share. I don't even remember what it said, but it was pretty simple. Like, do it or don't do it. And if you don't do it, don't pretend like it's Beettan. I don't know. I don't remember, something along those lines. It was pretty simple, which I think made it less scary. So I had lots more girls show interest. So Suzanne, who I love dearly, she's in Statesboro. She was coming all the way from Statesboro to get a spray tan in Savannah, which is about 45 minutes. So she bought in for the training, got her equipment. Now, back then, I was ordering the equipment for them, and I wasn't upcharging it. I just was doing everything for him and then charging a training fee. So we now are a direct distributor of that, the compressor and the machine and the tent. So it's pretty amazing what ended up happening. So Suzanne signed up. She was the bronze Beet. Aubrey signed up in North Carolina. She is good to glow. So it was fun for me to watch them also make it their own, but still enjoy the product of Beettan. So where I had created a product that was really good for the mobile spray tan, or any spray tanner for that matter, I had simplified it and made it more affordable for them, but also without taking a percentage from them that a franchise, but they had the moral support because I really wanted them to succeed because they chose, a product that I had developed. Now, along the years, people have said I'm crazy for that because I was slow to grow, but I was enjoying every freaking second of it. The relationships I was making, the trust that they had in me and my product. I had learned how to build a spray tan business from the ground up, and I wanted to show them how to do it too. Or if they just wanted to do it as a side hustle, like I had to do for many years, I can show them how to do that too. So I just wanted to show them exactly how I did it and was able to grow it into a full-time job. And so slowly but surely, more and more girls. And I swear to you, one day, Kelly and this girl named Kelly saw me on Instagram. Okay. Emily Bardron, who's my dear friend that owns Mamie Ruth and 6 other businesses, we were on the way to Miami, which we actually ended up having an argument, but because I gave her wrong directions, which we talked about in the podcast with her. But we went to Miami, and it was actually a really fun learning trip for me because she was like, your Instagram is ugly. And I was like, I hate Instagram. It doesn't make any sense. She's like, you need to better your Instagram. And so I was in her car. It was a long trip. So I fixed my Instagram the whole way there. I actually pulled stock photos and asked some of my customers for photos that they had pulled because I was mostly Facebook back then. So I've created this Instagram. And the reason I tell you that is, thank you, dear friend. I would always listen to what people told me and make it better. And look at what people were doing that were more successful than me and mimic it and make it relative or relatable to my business. So Emily said to do that, so I did. And we went to Miami. Luckily, we were going to Miami Swim Week, and she let me hop on and be a part of it. So I got a ton of content at Miami Swim Week, which made me look very cool in Savannah, that I was spray tanning at Miami Swim Week, which really I was just riding on the coattails of my friend who had me there, and I offered free spray tans to people who were there, whether they were stylists, whoever they were. It was really good content. So, and a lot of fun. And I learned how to have a pretty Instagram. So I come back, I'm signing up people, whatever. And then all of a sudden, this beautiful, wonderful lady in St. Simon's hit me up and she was like, hey, I've been following you on Instagram. Your Instagram's so pretty. I was like, thank you, Emily. And she's like, we would like to host you in St. Simon to do spray tans. And I might be interested in spray. Actually, I don't even think she said she was interested in spraying. I just was like, wow, people in St. Simon want to get sprayed by me. So I packed my stuff up. It was about an hour away. And I went spray tan at this yoga studio. And I was like, all right, Michelle, you're going to get the courage and you're going to tell them what you do and that you've trained. I don't remember. I had only trained like 3 or 4 people other than them before them to spray tan. So I told them what I did. I showed them, the other girls on social media that I had trained, and 2 of them signed up. And that was Virginia, she was in St. Mary's at the time. She still lives in St. Mary's, but she ended up moving the business to Jacksonville because she wanted to grow up bigger, and Jacksonville's way bigger than St. Mary's. And then because of them, another girl named Whitney signed up, and then it was like, and I took the girl from North Carolina who signed up the same. I mean, literally in a week, like 5 people signed up, and I was like, I'm on to something. So I had them, and I enjoyed every second of it. I don't know. And then it all just organically happened after that. I didn't even have a website to train them. I was training them by hand. So it literally was like word of mouth. Like, hey, there's this girl in Savannah. It's the best spray tan I ever got. And then you should do it too. So it went from it's weird how it started in LA, but it really was just a ripple effect of cities all around, within driving distance of Savannah. And I don't know, it just took off. And during COVID, I don't remember how many I had, but I think I really considered them like all little sisters or something. Right. So COVID, Susan, who was my Hilton Head gal, she came in one day to get a spray tan by me and check in and pick up product. And she's like, you hear about this COVID thing? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. How long do you think it's going to last? She's like, I think everyone said this, like a couple of weeks. We're like, yeah, it's weird. It's scary. No, we all know how long COVID lasts. At that point, I had 3 products. So when COVID shut us down, I just started to create products, which is where the scrubs and the butters, things that I could make without a lab, I could make in-house, I started to make. And then we created other products and we sold them. We started selling them online. And was not selling online then. Even to the spray tan partners, they were calling me, ordering it. I'm talking about old school, and I was mailing it to them. Like, they were texting their orders, Venmoing, or I would take their credit card over the phone via my Square, and then I would mail it out to them. So that is how the company grew. COVID put me in a box once again. COVID put me in a box, and we were service-based businesses, so we were shut down, and I learned how to sell the retail products online. I learned how to let them sell it online. I met this really awesome guy named Steven who I paid in White Claw, and he built a website. He built a training site, and I started, everyone wanted, I think COVID made people realize they hated their jobs or didn't want to go back to their jobs or wanted to figure out how to make money from home. So, who is that in there?
It's Gavin.
Oh. I was like, why is she freaking out? Because she's fine. Let me start over.
Also, do you want to say hi to him? Because we can stop for a second if you want.
Maybe I should say I'll wrap it up and do a second half later.
Sure.
What time is it?
It's 9:04. Or it's 3:47.
I just have to be there for 4:30. All right, what was I saying?
COVID put you in a box making products.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you think all of the challenges that you think I'd already been faced with a lot of challenges. In my early 20s, I had a business burn down. And back then, we were dealing with the recession because that was 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, shut down. So then fast forward, now I'm in COVID, and I built this thing, and I had all these women who were like, what do we do? We're all shutting down. So I luckily reached out to resources I had through bartending and through real estate, and was able to build a pro site and a productive site to sell product through. And we made it through. Not only did we make it through, I came out stronger. 2020 was the biggest year I climbed in sales And I had a whole new business model, a whole new pillar of the company. I was a business teaching people how to have a business with like services. I would teach people how to spray tan and just spray tan. Now I have a whole online store. I have a whole training website. I can train anyone across the country without having to physically be there. I could sell product to them. They could order it online. Now, I'm not going to tell you that was the best website ever, but it worked and people were joining and I was getting customers and it was amazing. Now, fast forward to now, we have almost 200 partners and we have over 300 wholesalers. So I started January of 2022, going to trade shows and selling the retail products wholesale. And Beettan has grown into an actual company. And I have the most amazing team and employees. But for all of 2020, I had one employee that was helping me spray tan. And this other employee named Kelly, who is now a Beettan partner, she broke off and was like, I want to spray tan. Spray tan is fun. Literally, that's what she said. She was like, I ain't about this office work. I want to do spray tans from home too. She has two amazing girls, so she wanted to be home with them more. So I have this amazing team. Amanda, that's my right-hand woman. I call her my president, my CFO. She wears many hats. She actually worked at a makeup counter with me in my early 20s. I had many jobs. I just stuck to the main ones of my life, but I had many jobs. And she worked at the makeup counter. She lost her best friend to melanoma, so skin cancer meant a lot to her. Just like it did with me and my sister. So she left another company for less money at Beettan because of the mission. Danielle came from a corporate job, and we are not corporate here at all. I make up my own rules, and sometimes investors look at me like I'm crazy. We have no investors, but I have had people interested, and when I tell them my business model, my structure, of course, they want to safely go with something that's been around forever. But I've been very successful making up my own rules, and I think that's how a lot of beautiful businesses were made. It started off of necessity, and now it's this beautiful structure that women feel like it's their own, but they have all the support that you would have with a franchise. So it's very franchisee, but I don't take a percentage. All they're paying for is the certification. But what makes us different than just a certification is we have very much the support. So we will build their website. We will provide them with content to post. We have team meetings. We have private lives that we do. I don't know what you call that. Zooms, I guess is like the most popular word. But we'll have these live webinars and meetings where we can help each other out. We hosted some in the city this year for a fundraiser. So it's not a franchise because every dime that they make within their own business and their home is theirs. I make the money when they order the product, but just for ordering the product, they get the support system. Once they pay for that certification, which is under $3,000, if they already own a business, it's under $2,000, meaning if they are a hairstylist and they want an extra stream of income, they may not need the website, the booking system. They just want to add it on as a service. We provide them with all the equipment and the training. Do not take a percentage. We just charge that training fee. So it's grown into its own structure that I'm super proud of because it's all about the passion and the growth first, and the money always shows up. Hasn't been a super scalable business, but I wake up every morning loving what I do, and my team has all taken less money to come work for this company because it is a feel-good company. And I know that, and I can't let anyone take that away from me. I have been approached several times with other business structures to scale it. But I know this business because, hell, I've been doing it for 20 years. So it's a fun business, and I love every second of it. And like I said, this business saved me. It's made me more confident, more joyful, and it's given me a really great purpose. And I love all of how else would I on a regular basis meet women from all over the country? I'm super blessed. And that is the origin of Beettan. If you have any questions, you can always message me on Instagram. It's Beettan Official. My private Facebook, which is also my podcast Instagram. Okay, so Instagram is Beettan Official. Facebook is just Beettan. And it's BEETTAN. And then the Beet Goes On podcast, and we spell it B-E-E-T, like beets. So hit me up if you have any questions. You guys have a good day.